Welcome back to Design Bundles YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Crystal, and today we are going to be continuing our series of the Christmas in July. So if you guys have been following all week long, we have made several different projects, including this tumbler here and this really fun t-shirt. So today we are actually going to be making some leather earrings. So we are going to be cutting some leather with our Cricut Explorer 3. Now you can do this with your Cricut Explorer 2, your regular Cricut Explorer, as well as your maker models. But I'm going to show you guys how you can accomplish this using your Explorers with your regular blade. So you do not need a deep cut blade, just your regular blade. And I'm going to show you guys how to do it using your purple mat and some tape. All right, so we've got this. Let's go ahead and jump on over here so I can show you the bundle that we're using today. So we have created a huge Christmas in July bundle here, and it contains all sorts of fun stuff, from stuff for your Cricut, Silhouette, Glowforge, sublimation. It's bundles inside of bundles. So you guys can even see here, 620 plus Christmas bundles. So lots of things inside of here. Now the one that we are using today, we are going to be making these amazing earrings right here. So you can make these using your leather. So if you guys did not know, you guys can actually cut leather on your Cricut. Now you guys can find this. There is Etsy shops there. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it, 143 Vinyl carries it. You can even find it locally at Hobby Lobby and Michael's and things like that. So if you're wondering where you can find this, say for example Hobby Lobby, if you go back where the fabric department is, you can usually find it on rolls. But if you actually go back to where the crafts are, where you would find your felts and things like that, that's where you're going to find these. I find it better to get the more thinner ones like this. They're just a whole lot easier to cut. You don't need something super thick. Now these ones do have a little bit, especially this one has a little bit more thickness to it, but you guys can really get down to, say for example, some that are really chunky like this as well. This one's a little bit thicker. You're just gonna want some more pressure, and I'm gonna show you guys how to up that whenever we go to cut those out. So what I do is I like to store mine in a little tote like this, because I actually use these for embroidery as well. So you can use these across the board. Now a really cool thing is with something like this, you can also do like a glitter HTV, and then you can iron that down on some felt or something like that if you wanted to do. So a few different options you can do there. So let's go ahead and jump over to Cricut Design Space so I can show you how to do it. Alright, so now that we are over here in Cricut Design Space, all you have to do is bring in your files. Now when you bring these in, I've chose to do these two here. All you're going to do is change these. So you don't have to, I can cut them out. But if I want to visually see, say for example, I'm going to be doing this one with a green, I can do that. And then the same, I'm going to have the tree green, so I can cut those at the same time. My star here is going to be gold. We're just going to choose a yellow. And then this is going to be red. So I'm going to do that so that way whenever we go to cut them out. Now, I'm also going to show you how to cut them all out on the same mat, so that way we can load this thing one time. So in order to do that, we're going to change everything the exact same color. So you can just select everything, and then you can come right over here, and we're just going to change it all. Let's say, for example, I just change them all to black. All right, so that way they're going to cut on the same piece. Now, these are all still separate. You can see that. Now, when it comes to sizing, find your favorite earrings. So you guys know that I've got some favorite earrings here. And so for example, these right here, these, I love the length of these. They're perfect for me. And so what you're simply going to do is take your ruler out. You guys know I'm a huge fan of using the sewing ones here. And then you're just going to measure that and figure out the length. So for the example, this one is 3 inches. And then I have another favorite that's about 2.5. So I went with a 2.5. So just find that perfect length that you guys like, and then just roll with it. All right. So what I did to do that, I selected each of those like this, and then I just plugged it in here. I went to the height and did 2.5, which then gave me 2.1 wide. So these are perfect and they are ready to go. So let's go ahead and go to make it. So from here, we're going to tell it that we are using the mat, and then we're going to go ahead and hit continue. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate these on the mat, so that way we can cut out pieces and have it go at the same time. And I want to leave a little bit of room so I can tape around these things. So let's go ahead and scoot this one up and over. We'll get these guys out of the way. These are the same colors, so I can actually keep them close. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring them down. That way I could go ahead and get a nice little size piece here. taped down. So something about like this. And so I'm going to cut a probably about a 4x6 piece of the green, and then this is going to be red, and then we have gold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the gold over here. Well, I'm going to bring it down to this corner, maybe right about here. I think I'm going to bring it here, and then I'll cut that gold to probably about a 3x3 square. And then you don't have to. If you want to really cut it down, you can, and then tape around that. But I'm just going to do a 3x3 to be safe. And I can actually pop this whole piece on there and then trim around it later as well. And then I'm going to scoot this one down here, and I will just put it at the bottom, somewhere right about in here. Now what I'm using here today is the purple mat. The purple mat is your strong grip, and this is what you want to use with materials like this, because if you don't, they're gonna, it's really hard to get it to hold to the mat, and they're gonna want to move. So what I'm doing is I'm leaving a space for the tape. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the same thing to this one, just making sure I'm within that area. And once again, I'm just making sure that I am gonna be within that area, making sure the tape and everything is gonna be up and over. So I think that looks good to me. So you just wanna make sure that everything is where they're gonna be. They're gonna go within that area. So if you feel, for example, this one's got a little bit more texture, you may want to place it this way. All right, so we're gonna do one in this direction. I'm just trying to make sure which squares these are in. So I'm going to place one in this direction, the one that I have a little bit more texture of that glitter, and then these ones I'm going to put face up. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use my painter's tape. If you feel that there's not enough to hold this guy down, you can definitely take some painter's tape here and then tape this guy. Now, like I said, I'm gonna rotate this because I wanna keep this tape inside of the mat because our wheels, I don't wanna get in the way of the wheels. And honestly, I don't wanna get too far on top of that. I wasn't thinking. Another thing that you can definitely use as well is washi tape. I do use washi tape sometimes also. Now we are ready to send it over to be cut. We're gonna go ahead and hit send. We're gonna hit continue. All right, so once you have it loaded, we are ready to go. You're gonna go to browse all material, and then you're simply gonna type in leather and hit enter. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose shimmer. It says 1.mm. This is gonna get into those thicker ones. So we're gonna go ahead and click on that one, and I'm gonna hit done. Now, another thing that you can do, so say for example, I told you if you guys get into these thicker glitters like this, I'll kind of bring it up so hopefully you guys can see. It's a little bit more on the thicker side. Once again, with this one, I would flip it upside down to cut it. And then for this one, I would definitely bring up the pressure. And to do so, I've chose shimmer 1mm thick, but then we're gonna go to pressure and I'm gonna choose more. So if I do that, the Cricut is gonna push down further on that blade and it's gonna really cut all the way through. So if you guys are struggling with your leather, definitely try out these tips and I'm sure you guys are gonna find it helpful. So I'm gonna go ahead and load this, and if it doesn't cut, we're gonna come back and we're going to use the, we're gonna go ahead and use more pressure. So let's go ahead and start out with the shimmer 1mm, and we're gonna leave it as default. So now we're gonna go ahead and load. And as you can see, it's telling us to load that fine point blade. So you do not need your deep point blade for this. So we are gonna load it. We're gonna go ahead and hit that load button. All right, so the Cricut is now gonna go ahead and bring it in. Just make sure I'm using the correct mat and all of those things. Now we should be getting ready to hit go. So once you start to get that flashing go button there, which we did, that play button if you will, we're gonna go ahead and cut it out. All right, so now that we're done cutting, we can actually go ahead and do some tests. So I can actually come in here and make sure that it cut everything out, and it actually did. So it was super perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and send this out. Now, this one actually seemed like whenever it was cutting that I could have actually, look at how perfect that is. And I actually gotta go back and cut another set. I only cut one set. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is peel these off, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cut out the other one, and we'll be back. But I probably could have brought this down because what it's gonna do is go over it about 3 times or so. So I probably could have even brought this back down to the paper thin one, and it would have been good. But leather is not that difficult. It's just making sure you're choosing those proper settings. If you're using something thicker, make sure you guys give it some more pressure. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut out the pairs for these, if you will, and we'll be right back. Now what I'm actually gonna do, in case you guys make the same mistake, you can see I still have plenty of materials here to cut out my other pieces. So I'm actually gonna leave these in place, and I'm gonna go to show you how we're gonna fix this. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna go to edit, and that way I can move these pieces around. So I'm gonna go ahead and figure out about where I can scoot these guys down, so we can go ahead and kind of scoot them around and get them in place, so that way I can just cut everything the way that it already is. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and hit done, and then we're gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna go to browse and then type in leather. I'm gonna choose the same shimmer settings, and then we're gonna hit done, and then we're gonna go ahead and load it one more time. All right, so we have cut out our other pair, if you will, our other one. So we're just gonna go ahead and peel these off. So once again, you can see how easy these just peel off. So you just kind of bend your mat a little bit to find it. And one thing that you can do is you can actually use your little weeding tool here just to kind of pop underneath here and peel it right off. So super duper easy. Once again, lots of different places that you guys can purchase this stuff. And something else you can actually do too is just when you go ahead to peel this off, it's obviously going to leave that behind. So that's another way that you can do it too. All right, so next up, we are ready to put our earrings together here. So a few things that you're gonna need is some little earrings here, and then possibly some jump rings. Now, it just depends on what you like. So for example, these are the fish hook ones, and that's what I really prefer. So that's what I got. Once again, you can find these locally. I have everything linked down below, including some leather. So if you guys need some help finding some, and then you're also gonna want some jewelry pliers. All right, so what we're gonna do is you're just gonna pair these together. So both of these have a hole, so you're simply just gonna go ahead and line them up, and then we're gonna go ahead and start grabbing our little earring pieces here. All right, get us a couple of these little pieces out here. Set that out of the way. And then we'll also get our little jump rings. And I'm gonna try to use some of the smaller ones. This little bag here that I got, it actually came with a few different sizes. So I thought I would actually go in here, and we're gonna need 4 of these because I've got 4 earrings. We're gonna go ahead and just prep these guys up really quick. All right, so here we go. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna take one of our little jump rings, and what you wanna do is pull it sideways like this. You don't wanna pull it out like this because it's gonna tear it up. So you're just gonna do that, and then we are gonna go ahead and start to take both of these at the exact same time through there, and then we're gonna go ahead and get our little fish hook earring these here. And then you're just gonna go ahead and close it. So you're just gonna pinch it closed. So super duper easy. This would be a great item to sell, throw in the boutique, online. Lots of different options for these guys. All right, so there you have it. Super duper easy. So let me go ahead and show you one of the Christmas trees. So as for the stars, same thing. So you just wanna line up that stars. So you wanna just make sure that you have those angles in the correct direction. Once again, they all of your pieces should have a hole in it. And so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna feed that jump ring. So line that up there. So now we can go ahead and get our jump ring ready to go. Find that opening really quickly. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and once again, we're just gonna go ahead and twist it just like that. And then we're just gonna go ahead and feed these through. So if it's easier for you, so for example, it's kind of hard to see the opening of this hole here on the star. You may wanna feed the star through first and then come back through and feed the Christmas tree. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, all right? So we've got both of those pieces. Same thing once again. And you wanna be mindful of which way your fish hook is facing. And we're gonna go ahead and get that on there. And it already fell off, so let me get it right back on there. Just like so. And then we're just gonna go ahead and squeeze this shut once again. All right, so there we have it, perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure they're lining up side to side. And there we have it. How adorable are these? So I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up. I'm gonna go ahead and put it together the other side. So as you guys can see, how adorable are these? And there you guys have it. So I went ahead and popped these guys on so that way you guys had a better view of them on just to see how big they are. And then here is that other pair. Now, once again, keep in mind, get out your favorite pair of earrings, that length that you like, measure it, figure out what you want. So if you actually want to size these down or bring them up bigger, you can do whatever you would like. Now, keep in mind, whenever you go to size them down, you could lose a little bit because like this star is a little bit smaller already to start with. So if you start to size them down, you could struggle cutting that. So if you're struggling, the leather's only going to be able to do so much. So keep that in mind. But what you can do is just ditch the star, go ahead and delete it, don't cut it out, and then just apply some HTV or fill that in with some glitter glue or some glue with some glitter on it on top as well, just if you wanted to do that, or completely just have it green. Just an idea if you want to bring it down too much smaller than what it already is. Once again, these are about 2.5 inches tall, and I think they are darling. And this one came with several different ones. You've seen that they had the light bulb ornaments and all of that. So lots of different ones to choose from. Once again, not even just with the holiday season doing the entire series. We are here getting Christmas in July. Once again, we have stuff right now if you want to do stuff for the summertime. We have flamingos. There's just so many different ones to choose from, like I said. So definitely make sure you guys check that out. And if you guys have not already checked out the videos all week long gearing up for the Christmas in July, definitely make sure you guys check it out. And then we have one more video of this series. So if you guys have enjoyed this, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.